Scottie Scheffler fought the law, and the law didn't win.
He was arrested hours before a major championship.
I've heard that the police arrested golf phenom Scottie Scheffler after a seemingly minor traffic incident.
Threw him in jail, gave him a mugshot in an orange jumpsuit.
So I'm terribly sorry.
Okay, keep your hand back there.
I was trying to get to my tea time.
I got DNA. Shaking.
Then he shot 66 and almost won.
There's a new number one. His name is Scottie Scheffler.
But that's just one chapter in the most inspiring story in golf. What's happening, golf fans? Today, I'm telling you the real story of why Scottie Scheffler is the world #1 player. And no, this isn't about his swing. This isn't about his stats. This is about sacrifice. This is about faith. This is about a family that risked everything. For those of you who've been following golf for decades, you'll remember when champions were built differently, when values mattered more than money.
It kind of reminds me of how I was on a golf course when I was 10 years old. So one bad thing would happen, then I'd get more upset, and then the next thing would happen, and I'd get more upset.
Well, Scottie Scheffler is taking you back to those days. Subscribe because you're about to witness one of the most powerful stories in sports. Let's go. Let me take you back to northern New Jersey, Bergen Community College Golf Course. It's past sunset. Most families are home having dinner, but there's a man standing in the dark, holding a flashlight. His name is Scott Scheffler, and he's teaching his son to hit golf balls. In the dark. Why? Because Scott Scheffler would go to the Bergen Community College golf course at night and hold a flashlight for his kids to hit in the dark. They couldn't afford the fancy country clubs. They didn't have connections. So this father held a flashlight while his 3-year-old son hit plastic golf balls in the darkness. Now here's the question. How many of you would do that for your children? Stand in the dark, hold a flashlight, no guarantees, just faith. For older viewers watching, you remember those days, don't you? When parents sacrificed without asking for anything in return. That flashlight in the dark, that was the first spark of a world #1. But the sacrifice was just beginning. September 11th, 2001. The towers fall. America changes forever. Scott and Diane Scheffler moved to Texas after the 9/11 attack. Diane got a job offer at a law firm in Dallas. But here's what nobody talks about. They had 4 children, ages 8, 6, 4, and 2. They were taking them out of school in the middle of the year. Scottie himself said, "When we moved to Dallas, it was pretty uncomfortable for my parents. Basically uprooted their whole lives, everything they knew, to come here where they didn't really know anybody besides my mom's boss. Let me ask you something. Could you do that? Leave everything you know, take your 4 young children across the country, start over in a place where you know nobody?" Most people wouldn't. Most people would say it's too risky. But the Schefflers didn't, because Diane saw an opportunity, not for herself, for her family. Diane worked for various law firms while Scott became a stay-at-home dad. Wait, did you catch that? In the early 2000s, when that was rare, Scott Scheffler became a stay-at-home father. Scottie said, "Having my dad as his primary caregiver wasn't unusual. I didn't know any different. Fortunately for me, I grew up with 3 sisters and my dad was there, and he did a great job raising us." For our older viewers, you know how rare this was back then. A father staying home while the mother worked. But the Schefflers didn't care about society's expectations. They did what was best for their family. They're in Dallas now. Scottie is 8 years old. He loves golf. But there's a problem. His parents had to borrow money in order to secure a place at Royal Oaks Country Club so he could practice his golf. Let that sink in. Borrowed money they didn't have. Scottie wrote, "My parents needed somewhere they could leave me and not worry." That's when we met Randy Smith and we joined Royal Oaks. But here's what makes this incredible. Randy Smith was coaching PGA Tour pros like Justin Leonard and Colt Knost. This wasn't some local coach. This was an elite instructor. And the Schefflers borrowed money to give their 8-year-old access. Scottie said, "It was an incredible thing they did because that's where I spent my whole childhood. Randy was teaching Justin Leonard, Colt Knost, and others, and I'd hang around and listen and play with anyone who'd let me join their group at the club. I knew I wanted to be one of them." Question for you. How many parents would go into debt for their child's passion, especially when there's no guarantee of success? The Schefflers did. And you know what? Randy Smith has been Scotty's only swing coach since age 7, the same coach for over 20 years. Mystery question: what would have happened if they couldn't borrow that money? Would we even know Scotty Scheffler today? Here's where it gets interesting. You've seen Scotty's swing, right? That famous foot slide. They call it the Scheffler Shuffle. His back foot slides backward and often lifts entirely off the ground, a technique no golf coach would traditionally teach. Every coach who saw young Scotty wanted to fix it, but Randy Smith did something revolutionary. He left it alone. Performance coach Troy Van Beason said, "I wholeheartedly believe that if any other golf coach got a hold of Scotty, they would have tried to change his swing and probably would have ruined him." Think about that. Randy Smith trusted his instincts. He didn't force Scotty into a perfect mold. For our older viewers, this reminds you of the old days, doesn't it? When coaches developed individuals, not robots. But here's the mystery. What made Randy Smith see what others couldn't? Why did he trust Scotty's unique style when everyone else wanted to change it? The answer: because Randy understood that greatness doesn't fit in a box. Let's talk about who Scotty Scheffler really is. After Scotty's first Masters win, his father Scott hugged him and said, "I'm more proud of who you are than your golf. You're a wonderful young man." Did you hear that? I'm more proud of who you are than your golf. In a world obsessed with winning, Scott Scheffler Sr. was proud of his son's character. Scott Sr. said, "It's just what you do as a father for your children. You do for your kids, you know. I've done for all of them. They've given us great joy. He's the one that did all the hard work, not me. I just raised him and tried the best I could to be a good dad. For those of you who are parents or grandparents, that's what matters. Not the trophies, not the money, the character." And here's something beautiful. Scotty has 3 sisters, Callie, Sarah, and Molly. Callie said, "We're so proud of him, all of us. He remembers all the sacrifices that were made for him, and he's grateful for everything. He remembers the sacrifices. He's grateful." In a generation of entitled athletes, Scotty Scheffler stands different. Question: when was the last time you saw a champion who's genuinely humble? May 17th, 2024, PGA Championship, Valhalla Golf Club. At 6:20 a.m., Scotty Scheffler was arrested by Louisville Metro Police. He was charged with second-degree assault of a police officer, a felony. The world #1 golfer, in handcuffs, mugshot in an orange jumpsuit. A tragic accident had occurred. A man named John Mills was struck and killed by a shuttle bus at 5 a.m. Traffic was stopped. In the chaos, Scotty tried to drive into the golf course as he'd been instructed earlier. Scotty said, "This morning, I was proceeding as directed by police officers. It was a very chaotic situation, understandably so considering the tragic accident that had occurred earlier, and there was a big misunderstanding of what I thought I was being asked to do." But here's what defines Scotty. He said, "I was never angry. I was just in shock." Even in jail, he remained calm. He even asked an officer, "Hey, excuse me, can you just come hang out with me for a few minutes so I can calm down?" Think about that. Most people would be furious, calling lawyers, screaming. Scotty stayed calm. Officers started cracking jokes with him. One asked, "Come on, man, you want a sandwich?" Scotty replied, "Sure, I'll take a sandwich." He was making friends with the officers while in custody. He was released at 8:40 a.m. and arrived at the course less than an hour before his tee time. The question everyone asked, what would he shoot? Scotty said, "I was pretty rattled, to say the least. I was shaking for like an hour. Most players would withdraw. Most would use it as an excuse. But what did Scotty do? He shot 66, 5 under par, after being arrested, after spending time in jail, after wearing an orange jumpsuit for a mugshot. He shot 66 at a major championship. Fans greeted him with supportive chants of "Scotty" and "Free Scotty." Some spectators already wore t-shirts featuring his freshly released mugshot. And here's what's beautiful. When all charges were dropped 12 days later, Scotty said, "I hold no ill will toward Officer Gillis. I wish to put this incident behind me and move on, and I hope he will do the same." No ill will, no bitterness, no lawsuits. That's character. For our viewers who've lived through decades, you know how rare this is. An athlete with no ego, no victim mentality, just grace under pressure. So why is Scotty Scheffler the world #1? It's not his swing. It's not his stats. It's because his father held a flashlight in the dark. His parents risked everything to move to Dallas. They borrowed money for his dream. His coach trusted his unique style. His family taught him character over trophies. He stayed calm in a jail cell. He showed grace to those who wronged him. Scottie Scheffler is world #1 because he was built right. Not in a country club, not with privilege, with a flashlight, with sacrifice, with love. For every parent watching, your sacrifices matter. That late night practice, that borrowed money, that move you're scared to make. For every young person watching, character beats talent every time. Humility wins long term. For everyone who's faced adversity, Scottie was arrested at a major and shot 66. Your setback is your comeback. Final question: what flashlight are you willing to hold in the dark for someone you love? If this story inspired you, subscribe, because we're telling stories that matter. Share with someone who needs to hear about sacrifice and character. Comment, tell me, what sacrifice has someone made for your dreams? Like, if you believe character beats talent, Scottie Scheffler proves that the old way still works. Sacrifice, faith, family, character. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.